Welcome to the ultimate Rune Slayer race tier list. Now, Rune Slayer only has 7 races that are obtainable at the moment. Race rerolls will cost 150, so this video should help you guys out choosing what race you want to go. So let's start off with none other than human. So humans, let's see what it says. It says humans are highly adaptable with exponentially ability to sustain their resources, making them well suited for any scenario. Now, the first passive the human gets is tenacity. When below 50% HP, gain 15% damage buff and 15% damage reduction. Now that's pretty solid, not gonna lie. When you drop under 50% HP, you'll gain a significant amount of damage and resistance, so it'll help you better clutch up in those fights. Second passive is Ghoul Slayer. You do more damage to the undead. Not too sure what mobs are undead or not. I know the skeletons are, but we'll have to see more when the game actually releases. Third passive is Hunger Efficiency, which basically just gives you better hunger bar. Pretty mid, not gonna lie. I'm gonna leave that in C tier. Alright, the next one I want to go over is Orc. Now, Orc, I'm gonna put it in C tier because it's really mid. So it says Orc, brutal and resistant. Orcs are built for battle. Their strong bodies endure harsh conditions. Their hunger drives them relentless aggression, and their endurance lets them thrive in extreme heat. So what we see with a lot of these Roblox games is just heat resistance. Overall, really mid. Nothing else to say about it. It's the passive Battle Hardened, 10% base health regen, which is actually really good. That's the only thing Orc is good, is the health regen it gives. Second passive Ravenous, 15% max hunger, very mid. We see it. Passive Ashwalker, pretty self-explanatory. It's just more heat resistance, 20% heat resistance to be precise. Now we want to move on with the next race, which is Elf. And Elf is definitely better than human and Orc in my opinion. Elves are expert hunters, boasting in superior for precision and endurance compared to other races, masters of the stealth, and they excel at remaining unseen. So okay, the first passive to Elf is 3% speed buff, a 10% cooldown reduction, and 10% stealth. Really solid. I really like the cooldown reduction and the speed. That's really good. I really like speed in games, so that's gonna help out a lot. I might look to go Elf this one, I'm not sure. Passive is Mana Affinity, 10% more mana, which is just really good. You know, 10% more max mana is really good. Or the third passive is Focus Affinity, 5% more focus. So Elf is a really solid race. Not the best, but not the worst. Definitely not the worst. Next race we have is Ailuran. Now Ailuran, I'm gonna put either A or S, but I'm gonna keep it an A due to it doesn't really have an ability. So the first, what does it say about it? The first passive that Ailuran has is 8% speed boost. That's really good if you're gonna run like ninja class or some kind of thief class. That's me personally. I'm gonna run ninja Ailuran. That's what I really want to run because the speed boost sounds really nice. It has 10% fire resistance, 25% heat and cold resistance. So it completely blows the Orc's passive out of proportion. You get heat and cold resistance plus fire resistance to damage types. You know, that's really strong. And another passive it has is Prowler, 25% jump height and 15% less fall damage. Now, like I said earlier, this will be really well paired with thief classes, maybe even archer classes. I'm not sure. We have to kind of play around to see more, but if you want to go ninja or something, Ailuran is really viable. Next class we have Slime. Now I'm not too sure if I want to put it in S or A tier. I'm gonna stick it in A tier right now. Let me go over it again and make sure. Now Slime is a 6% chance, so it's the most rare that we have pulled so far. So Slime could easily be an S. Let's find out. Okay. Passive Slime Body. You take 7.5% less magic and fire resistance and 25% immunity, meaning potions, when you have to drink, you get 25% more toxicity bar pretty much. To active, Viscose Shock. You need 10 magic, so you might have to go magic build with slime to max out its usage. Not too sure, we don't know too much about it. But another passive which sets this way differently than others is Vicious Remains. When struck, there's a chance to release a blob of slime. Now, the information on this is pretty limited since the game has got taken down multiple times. We have not got to test it as much, so I'm not sure if it spawns in a little slime next to you or it's like Rogue Lineage Fisherin and it kind of just hits through you and spawns slime like you can't be hit. That's what I probably think. If that's the case, it's an S tier, definitely. It probably is the case. So we're going to keep this in S tier if it's like that windshield kind of mechanic, because that would be really good for PvP based. To have a free M1 negated, that would be really strong. Next, we're going to go in with the Half Golem. Now, Half Golem, you can easily put that in S tier. It's a really solid class. The thing I really hate about this class is its 5%. It's negative 5% movement speed. So you will be slower because you can see it's a golem. You're made out of rocks. The first passive is Stone Body. Negative 5% movement speed. You will have your movement speed nerfed with this class, but it counteracts with a 5% damage reduction, 10 max weight, and 25% robustness. So it is really good. As you can see on this picture up on screen, you do have an active ability, which is looks like a really big AoE attack. So that would be really good. I'm gonna move that in S tier just because you get the 25% robustness and you get an active ability unlike the others. So that's easily an S tier race. Now let's go on with Dullahan. Dullahan is easily the best class, the best in Rune Slayer, not only because it's a 2% chance, because of what you get off of it. First passive is Severed Sight. You get to pop off your head and use it like a camera. So you pop off your head and move it around, you get to see, I guess, different parts you wouldn't be able to see. That's really cool, especially for like cinematic shots and all that. That's a really cool thing I've never seen in any other Roblox game. That'll be really fun to play around with. Second passive, Grim Reaper. Slight health restoring on killing enemies, making it really strong in PvE and PvP. Third passive, Undead Body. 25% robustness, 25% cold resistance, and 25% holy resistance. Now level 15, you get a skill called Soul Harvest. As you can see on screen here, it looks really good. It's a damaging thing. I don't know if it's a combo extender, but it looks better than all the other abilities I've seen. So to have this as a racial ability is absolutely absurd. Like, this is a really good race overall. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like the tier list. Consider dropping a sub. We are approaching 300 subs, and I am out.